Representative Tim Burchett has fired an elusive warning to Lou Elizondo after he has filed basically officially blown the whistle against the Pentagon and also the US government for withholding alien life secrets. Now, in case you don't know who Tim Burchett is, he is an American politician over in the US, representatives for Tennessee in the 2nd Congressional District, based in Knoxville, serving since 2019. A Republican, Burchett was formerly mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, and he served in the Tennessee General Assembly, first in the Tennessee House of Representatives, in which he represented Tennessee's 18th District, and he later served as the Tennessee State Senate, representing the 7th District part of Knox County. And I love this man. I love it because he's like, dang and it's just the best thing when he says it. But he has been on the forefront of UFO disclosure and UAP disclosure, really kind of pressing for the topic to be handled properly. And here's some information about him after the UFO briefings, after the congressional hearings, and, basically really trying to push this whole situation to make it a more normalized situation.
Man. Welcome back here to the Hill on News Nation. Today, lawmakers on Capitol Hill received a classified briefing on unidentified anomalous phenomenon, commonly known as UFOs. It comes as lawmakers continue to push for transparency from the Pentagon. Joining us now is Republican Congressman Tim Burchett. He attended that classified briefing. Congressman, great to see you and talk with you as always. Thanks for being back with us here on the Hill. So it's classified. I know you can't get into details. We get that. We understand it. But after being in that briefing, and now you're out of it, were you satisfied with what you heard?
Look at the smile on this man's face, by the way. He's chuffed to bits with what he found out.
No, it's always compartmentalized. We can't get to certain things. I don't really think of these people are lying. I think there's a lot of arrogance that kind of whirls around this so-called intelligence community. But what they do is they've compartmentalized it so that each department, they can only answer your question up to a certain point, and you can't get everybody in the skiff at the same time to answer the question. So no, I was almost falling asleep in the meeting. It was just so mundane and boring, and a lot of the things they told us, they explained some things that went on that were just like, okay, well then why are you having to tell us this in the skiff? Why can't you tell the American public that? And it's just
so do you think
complete disinformation. Go ahead.
Do you think your time spent on this, because there's a lot of time that you and the rest of the UAP caucus have spent to try to get answers, and every time I speak with you, Congressman, when you go to these classified briefings, you walk out and you're disappointed. And I wonder if you think that this is a waste of time. Do you feel that there's a cover-up going on, something in between? What is it?
Yeah, I think there's a cover-up. There's tens of millions of dollars that we spend investigating these things. We've had departments tell us that they have recovery units, but yet they won't release full reports. Everything's covered up. Your reports.
And then when we finally did get a full report, they then turned around and said that they haven't actually got any recovery units whatsoever, even though they've already stated that they do, but then suddenly they don't. And it's like, well, pick a lane and stick in it.
Looked like somebody shot it with a 12-gauge shotgun. So, of course, I think there's a cover-up. What it is, I don't know. I've said many times, it's not about the little green men or the flying saucers. It's about what the heck are they spending all this dadgum money on?
There it is, dadgum. I love it, man. I really love it when he goes, dadgum, dadgum.
And why won't they release it? That's the real questions that need to be asked. Until we have a commander-in-chief that'll release them, I don't think we're going to get them.
Why do you think there's a cover-up?
A lot of reasons. If say it is extraterrestrial, there's a lot of money to be made from somebody else's technology that you don't have to spend any money to get. And there might be the fact they don't understand what's going on, and there might be the fact that it's just plain arrogance, and they don't think we deserve it. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with high-ranking officials that have told me that America really can't handle this stuff, Congressman. We really just need to be real careful about it. And it's not their position to tell me who or what I can handle. We're Americans. We ought to be able to take it. Give it to us. I'm tired of it.
Real quick, Congressman, what's next?
Well, hopefully we'll have some hearings about this. They're just trying to run the clock out, which we said they were going to do, and we'll keep, as long as some of us are still in Congress, they don't run us off. We'll continue trying.
So there you go. Basically, he is really pushing the UAP disclosure topic, and he's really trying to get the truth out of the people that need to have the truth squeezed out of them. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. It never is that simple, is it? But at the same time, it doesn't stop Representative Burchett from trying, and other people like Representative Anna Paulina Luna or Matt Gaetz or anyone like that. They are still on the hot on the tails of these people, just trying to catch them out in any way possible. And here's another discussion from Representative Tim Burchett talking about the entire situation.
Of Tennessee joins us live. He is the chair of the UAP caucus, member of the House Oversight Committee as well. Congressman Burchett, thanks for being back with us here on the Hill. Appreciate it. Tell us why you decided to do this. Why do you feel this is needed?
Well, I guess I'm the unelected chair. I think it's needed because you just showed the Tic Tac video taken by one of our very brave pilots. And I had one of those pilots not very long ago tell me one of these objects was 14 feet away from his canopy as he was flying. Yet our federal government, many departments tell us they don't exist, yet they are still being funded tens of millions of dollars. They issue redacted reports about UFOs. And our own Pentagon, who has not passed an audit in the history of audits, literally cannot account for over $500 billion. Now we're spending this money on something. We're $35 trillion in debt. Every 100 days, we add another $1 trillion to our deficit. Look, it's not about little green men or flying saucers. It's what are we spending this dadgum money on? It's ridiculous.
What do you think?
Go into a
dadgum.
Well, I think there's some members that know some things. I think that's a bunch of balloons right there. But the one prior, the Tic Tac video, if you could hear the audio of the pilots who were chasing it, I think you would think something else. And we have too many reports from too many qualified people, former admirals telling me something's under the water going 200 miles an hour, big as a football field. It's too much. Just tell us what it is. We don't care. It's not going to upset my religious beliefs. I'm still going to believe Jesus died on the cross for me. It's not going to change one bit. All it's going to say is this universe is a lot bigger than we give it credit for. We're one grain of sand on a million beaches. Give us the information. Let us decide.
So you know how Washington works better than I do, Congressman, but for our audience here on News Nation and those listening on SiriusXM, putting a bill out like you have is one thing. Getting it to the floor for a vote is another, and then getting legislation, obviously that's, that goes to the Senate needing to pass it, getting it to the president's desk, so on and so forth. Let's start with this. In the House, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, does he view this as serious legislation? Do you think he will let this go through the process?
Well, if it wasn't, let's just see when it gets put on. I've got a commitment from him and Chairman Comer that we'll get a fair hearing and a fair process. Let them vote against it, because if they vote against it, what have they got to hide? They keep saying they don't exist. Well, give us the information then. Tell us what you're spending all these tens of millions of dollars on.
I mean, he's got a really fair point there, doesn't he? Like, if it's not real and the government is saying, well, it's just absolutely not the case, there's no way that this is real by any stretch of the imagination, then why is there so much secrecy around it? Why is it not just fully disclosed? And it makes no sense. But this is why I love Representative Tim Burchett, because he's just blunt. He's down the line. He's just, he will just say it as he sees it. But he has since put out, this is only a couple of days ago that this came out, a very stern warning to Lou Elizondo, who of course has just released his book Imminent and has been on quite a big press tour. Even going as far as, making public and international news on like CNN, for example, to talk about the topic. And, he's been very vocal about what he knows and about what the government's hiding. And Tim Burchett has sent this very stern warning to him. Have a little listen to this.
They're threatening this Elizondo guy. We know that other people we've talked to, other whistleblowers.
Lou's a buddy of mine. I don't doubt that. If I was him, I'd be nervous every time I got on an airplane, every time I turned the switch on my car or one of my motorcycles, ma'am. I just wouldn't do. These people are ruthless. and it has nothing to do with political parties. It's all about power and money. And, you know, and I was told by a former member of the Trump administration I'd kicked a hornet's nest, and I realized, and they said, get bodies out there. You need to get some bodies between you and some of this. And, you know, I take that as a true statement. So,
wow.
Yeah, a lot goes on. They ruin people's lives, they ruin careers, and they kill people. There's no question.
That, you know, and again, it's all about blunt down the line, very serious. And, you know, you can't get any more blunt and more serious than that. Like, he's literally, it's just absolutely mind-boggling. And it's kind of scary, you know, the whole topic. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump scare the hell out of that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you're new. Tick on my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to the channel. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.